Hi everyone, and welcome to my presentation. First of all, let me thank Great Learning for giving me such a wonderful opportunity. Let's start our day with a quotation. Failures are often the results of timidity and fears. Disappointments are the result of bashfulness. Hours of pleasure passes away like summer clouds. Therefore, do not waste opportunity of doing good. Great. So in this short video, let me cover the most important topics which you must know before entering any organization or an interview. So hi, my name is Syed Murtaza Shahid Hussain, and let's get started. Okay. So the first thing what we want is the application. So we are going to go on to the startspring.io. Over here, first I will define the group. So let me just say great. Okay, and in the artifacts, I'm going to pass learning. Okay, let me just say Spring Boot project for Spring Boot, great learning, great learning. Okay, and the package name is fine, com.great learning. Let me just add the dependencies over here. So I need the web dependencies, and then I need the JPA. Then I just need the actuator, and I need the dev tools over here. Okay, let me add one database as well, S2 database for the temporary one, and one class called Java Annotation Library, Lombok, which is very helpful in annotation based to get the boilerplate code, getter and setter. Okay, let me generate this particular code over here. So now I'm going to get the learning.zip file. Quickly, I just need to download it. Let me just go not into my pics. Let me go and download it to downloads. Great. Let me just go to the downloads. Let me just refresh it. Okay, I got the learning. Let me just quickly unzip it, extract here. Okay, once we are done with the extraction, we have to go to the Eclipse over here. I'm going to go to the file, import, and then existing Maven projects. Next. Okay, over here to the browse. What we have to do over here is I just have to go to the downloads and learning. Okay, I got the form.xml file to the finish and the great learning. So this is the learning. And here it is working, importing Maven project. So I'm working on to cover most important things which are basically required in an organization for an interview. You must know about these things. Don't worry about these things. I will go in detail step by step so you will be able to understand that what exactly we are trying to achieve through this particular program. So we are trying to create a Spring Boot application with the help of the Java and the advanced Java. Okay, it is loading. In a few minutes it will be done. No worries, it is completed. Just over here, let me just add the form.xml file over here. Okay, so I just need the map struct as well because I'm going to do some kind of mappings as well. So let me add that dependencies as well. So what is the purpose of map struct? This is a very beautiful concept which I've been very much needed. Just showing some issues. Let me just check map struct. This one I just needed. So I just opened it directly. Okay, yes. So when you open this particular website, you are going to get this particular page. Over here, you have to go to the downloads. And inside the downloads, you have this particular Apache Maven. And inside the properties, what you have to do is you simply have to copy this particular over here. So why we want to use the Apache Maven? The thing is that when we are basically passing the information onto the UI, we need something to convert from UI to the classes which we have created. And similarly, what we have to do is that what we have created, we have to go into the browser specific. Means we just created in such a way that you will be able to get the DTO effect, which is basically the stuffs which a user using the UI would be able to see that thing. and the remaining other stuffs won't be able to see by them. Okay, this is a little bit a different concept, don't worry. So in the properties files, I'm going to, okay, it is building. I'm going to put it over here. Let me just go over to here and quickly dependencies. Okay, let me add it into the dependencies over here. Okay, and I just need this plugin. So I will copy it from here till here. Okay, and I'm going to put this stuff over here inside the plugin. I'm going to put it over here. Okay, and one more thing I just needed, compiler args. So I'm going to put the compiler. Let me see, compiler args. Okay, and inside the compiler args, I'm going to put the compiler arg. Okay, and inside that, I just need the maps construct that must be the string. Otherwise, we won't be able to understand that what will be the any other application. It won't help us. So we need to write this thing. So let me just write it as abstract dot default component model is equals to string. Okay, let me just make it to the capital C, component model string. Okay, this is the thing. Let me just check whether I'm doing it right or not. I have a lot of application in which I have added this thing. Let me just open this one. So I just need the compiler args. Okay, I think I don't need. Yeah, this is the default construct, map struct and all. Let me just copy it. I've shown it to you already, just for the verification purpose that whether we are going to do the things right or not. Let me just add it over here. So you can say this is a map struct default component model is equals to string, right? So this is same. Let me just undo this thing, save it, just go back to it, press Control Alt 5, or you can go to put the right click, go to the Maven or update project, or you can press the Alt F5. Okay, I have a lot of projects, but I just have to update only, select all, only learning this time. Okay, let's do it. So it's updating the project, it's building. Great job. We have done a lot of jobs so far. And these are things, these are the very important things. Basically, if it won't work accordingly, then our project won't work even though we have written the right APIs. Let me just add dependencies as well with the help of the clean over here. So you can see a lot of logs over here present, which is basically telling us all the stuffs and all. It is finished. Let me quickly go to the run as and generate sources over here, and it is generated sources is already done, and now it's time to install. Okay, if there will be any issues, it will show us in the test phase. Okay, so don't worry, I believe that there won't be any issues and all. Okay, it is working fine. Great. Compiling one source from download test classes. Okay, default test learning, test started, and let's see, running all the information. Our application is running now. So we can say that everything which we have done so far is correct. So great job. It will be fine. So meanwhile, I can start my application. So the first thing for the Spring Boot application is that we need to segregate the things into the packages, right? So the first package, I'm going to define it as a domain, or people used to call it as an entity package as well. So it totally depends that what you want to call it as. Okay, so let me just go inside the domain, and inside the domain, I'm going to have the first thing for, let's say this time, customer. Okay, so we have the customer and we have this particular entity. Okay, let me have added this entity. We need one ID. Okay, why we need an ID? To distinguish it from the others. So we have a lot of customers, so the ID will be differentiating customers from each other. And then the string first name and private string last name. Okay. Now I just need the getter and setter methods for this. Okay, let's select all, generate, good job. And I just need to add the ID. Okay, so you can see the annotation generated value. Okay, strategy is equals to generation type dot identity. Okay, so this is the basically added so that it will automatically be generated. We don't need to generate it from our side. So good job, we have created the entity class which has the first name, last name, and an ID. So now what is the next thing? Quickly tell me. Yes, you are right. You are right. It's a repositories. Okay. Why repositories? It has some predefined methods which we are going to use. So I'm going to use the customer repository over here. Okay. And I'm going to extend JPA repository. This is one of the most important repository. And what we are going to do, we are going to pass the entity name, that is our customer, and its ID value. Remember the entity name and the ID. Okay. And Control Shift O to remove the errors and import the files that are needed. Okay, great. And now the second thing is, any guesses? Now we have to give some data to the databases, right? And for that particular thing, I'm going to create the bootstrap. Bootstrap. Okay, let me just say, call it as class called bootstrap only. And now I'm going to define this will be the component. So this file will be included while compiling the program. Okay, now it's time to implement command line runner. Okay, Control Shift O and Control 1 to get the unimplemented class. Okay, so now I'm going to write public void load customers. Okay, let me just call it as like that. And I do only have the customer one. Let me just say new customer. Okay, and customer one dot set first name. Let me just say my name only, Sayed Murtaza. Okay, let me just say customer one dot set last name, Shahid Hussaini. Okay, and can you tell me that why I'm not including the customer dot one dot ID? Because I've already added this annotation called ID and generated value. So I don't need to define this thing. So you would be able to see in the output that we have already added this thing. It will automatically add it. Okay. So repository, I just want. Okay, I haven't defined it. So let me just define it now. Private final customer repository and call it as customer repository. Control Shift O. Okay, let me control S, Control Shift O. And over here, I just have to move the constructor customer repository. Okay, so now I have the customer repository dot save. I just need to do what I need to do is customer. Okay, and similarly, I will create one more customer to get an idea of it. New customer. Okay, and customer two dot set first name. Let me just say Sayed Hassan. Okay, and customer two dot set last name and Mehdi Hussaini. Okay, let's add customer repository dot save and it's customer 2. Okay, and let me just show it to you. System dot out dot println total customers, and how much will be the customers. Okay, so customer repository dot count. Okay, so this way we're going to get to know. Let me just load customers over here so that you will be able to see the output. Let me just save it. Okay, let me just run this application. Run as Java application. So it is running. Let's check the output, that whether we are getting the output from our program or not. Okay, let's JPA is over there. This is the path. This is everything. Great job. Okay, so you can see the customers is showing too. Let me show you one thing more thing. System.out.println and customers info. Okay, let me just add over here customer repository dot whatever you are saying, find all. That is okay. Let me just see. Let me just save it. And so this is giving the customer, and okay, not like this. Customer one. Okay, let me just run it this way. So you can say I'm getting the ID, but I just need the customer one dot get ID. Okay, I just need to show it to you that what is the ID. Let me just save it. Control S, and you can see customer info. The ID is coming one. So let me just say customer one ID. Okay, and similarly system.out.println. I just need to see. This is only for the checking purpose. Don't worry to add this particular thing. You just need that even we have not added the ID, but still you can see that because of the ID annotation and generated a strategy, we are going to get the IDs automatically. Okay. Okay, so let's refresh it once again. And you can see the customer one ID is 1, 2. Okay, great. So now this thing is added. Now the thing is that we want some information to be seen by the user, but not all the information, right? So for that, I'm going to create a one video package, which we used to call it as model. Okay, let me just add the model over here. And inside that, I'm going to create one. So I'm going to write it as customer DTU. Okay, and what I'm going to write it over here is private string first name and private string last name, and one more thing we are added string customer UI. Okay, so now you noticed that we have not added the customer URL over here. So this is for the backend part. We don't want this particular information to be added over here. We just want the customer who is basically using, he is going to give the information onto the UI and then getting the result. So what we are going to do, we are just passing the properties over here and calling it as customer URL. Okay, and you can see that I'm not even passing the ID over here. We don't want to show these things to the customers, the IDs and all. We just want to show any information which is relevant to the user who is using our web application. And there are many information which we don't want to save into our databases. So that's why this whole particular information will be stored automatically and it will be shown to the customer as per their requirement. Okay, let me just add the getter and setter methods over here. Quickly select all and generate over here. Control S. Good job. Let me just add one more class for the customer list DTO. Okay, and over here I'm going to add the data, which is the annotation used for getter and setter. But in the Spring Boot program, there are some cases where it won't work. Lombok annotation doesn't work, so don't worry about it. And all args constructor, it will add the constructor as well, and no args constructor. Okay, let me just add this particular thing, and let me just list of customer DTO. Okay, customers. So this is done. This is done. What is the issue? Any issues? Control S and Control Shift O. So everything is resolved. Good job. And now we want mapper. What is the mapper? The information from R to the UI and the UI to R backend part. Okay, let's add this stuff over here inside the package. Learning, and what is the package? Mapper. I'm going to call it as mappers. Okay, let me just add one interface over here. And what is the interface name? We want to call it as customer mapper. Okay, let me just add the annotation mapper over here. And then I'm going to create customer mapper instance. Okay, is equals to mappers dot get mapper and customer mapper dot class. Okay, great job. And I just need customer DTO. So I just need customer to customer DTO, going to pass the customer. Okay, and I want similar customer DTO to customer. Okay, and customer DTO to customer DTO. Okay, yeah, that's good. So you can see no errors so far, everything is good. Whoa, so we are getting the output as well. Now it's time for the services and package services. So why we are using these type of packages and all, so that in future, in case that if you want to add or remove something, would be able to do it easily and quickly. So let me just customer service. Okay, and inside here I'm going to write the very most important things which are basically needed. And let's say customer DTO get customers. Okay, and then customer DTO get customer only and long ID. Okay, the customer DTO create customer, and it will be customer DTO customer. Okay, so you understand why this is I'm writing customer DTO, because all the information which is present inside the customer DTO I'm going to update is also one. So, and customer, oh come on, customer DTO customer DTO. Okay, good job. Customer DTO patch is also one of the things which are needed. Customer DTO okay. And for delete, we don't want something, delete customer. Okay, long ID. Okay, one more thing, that for the update and patch we want the ID as well. Okay, long ID, because for creating we will be generating one ID, but for updating and patching we need the IDs as well. So Control Shift O, Control S. This time I'm going to write the class for customer service implementation. Okay, let me just implement the customer service. Okay, Control Shift O, Control Shift 1, Okay, so the first one is private final customer mapper because I need it. Customer mapper and private final customer repository, customer repository, control shift O. Let me just add this one as well. Okay, what it is saying, customer repository, customer repository is fine, right? Yeah, this is same. So control shift O, control one, import customer repository. It is imported, control shift S. Let me just import the constructors. And here we go. Okay, let me just control S and you will see now I'm going to get the error. Oh, great. There is no error. Customer repository and all. Okay, then okay, we have done so far. Maybe we will use no issues. Okay, over here, just customer repository dot. Okay, customer mapper. I'm getting all the time 2 times. Let me just do it over like this. Okay, customer repository I'm doing and find all dot stream dot map. Okay, and what I'm going to do is customer. Okay, and over here I'm going to write customer DTO. Customer DTO equals to customer mapper dot customer to customer DTO, no, customer DTO to customer. First one. Okay, I got it. Now customer DTO dot set customer URL. Okay, customer. Okay, let me just pass it over here plus customer dot get ID. Oh, great. We are doing great. Customer DTO. Okay. Now what is the error? Collect collectors dot to list. Oh. So you can see Control Shift O, Control S, and everything is gone. Let's see that what will be the output. Oh, the output is great, man. It's working. I can't leave this. Let me just Alt F5 so that everything will be fine. This is the first time I'm not getting error at this point of time. I need to do some Maven and all, clean and all, then this is going to work. But yes, you guys are great. Okay, let me just quickly create one. Let me just quickly write it down, each and everything. So basically what we are trying to do, we are getting all the list of customers which we have created, and because we are creating at the time of the user is using our application, then we are creating the customer URL at that point of time, and we are not basically I'm sorry taking this as from the starting to ending, but when the customer is checking their list, so at that particular time it is creating the customer URL. And similarly, what we want is a single when we are passing it with the help of the customer URL. So what we are going to do, repository dot find by ID this time. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'm quickly do the map over here once again, customer mapper, and I will use the concept customer. Okay, so this time also I need this one. Okay, and let me just enter and then map also customer DTO. Now I already have this particular customer DTO, so no need to be worry about it. Customer DTO dot set customer URL. Okay, and customer slash I already have the ID, no issues, and return customer DTO. Okay, or else throw, I just need throw and then exception. runtime exception, and okay. So great. So through this, we are going to get the customer through ID when we will pass. No worries. And now the thing over here is that the customer DTO. First, I need the customer mapper dot. This time I need this one, and then customer save customer. We already got the customer, so customer repository. I just want okay dot save customer. Okay, Control Shift O. Whoa, now customer DTO. Okay, what we are going to do, customer DTO to return DTO. Okay, customer mapper, I just need it again. Dot customer to customer DTO. Yes, this one I needed. Save customer. And similarly, return DTO dot set customer URL. I'm going to write the customer slash save customer dot get ID. Okay, and over here I'm simply have to return DTO. Okay, so now the best part of this create customer is now we are almost done with everything except delete. Now I just simply need to copy this thing. It is very much similar, and I just need to paste it into the port. Isn't it great? We don't have to do anything for port except one thing, customer dot get not get set ID, and that is the ID which is coming from. Okay, great. And for the patch as well, I just have to write the customer repository dot find by. Okay, there is some repository dot find by ID. Okay, and then what I'm going to do dot map, and this time customer, I'm going to take it as if customer DTO dot get first name, okay, is equals to null. So what we are going to do over here is simply customer dot set first name customer DTO dot get first name. Okay, and over here is if customer DTO dot get last name is not equal to null, and customer dot set last name. So I'm going to write customer DTO dot get last name. Oh, that's great. Okay, and simply what I'm going to do after this, I simply have to go and press Control V, and I just want to delete this one line because I already do have this customer over here. Okay, and then everything is okay, everything is fine. Just add or else throw runtime exception. Whoa, that's great. We are going to get the output. Okay. And for the delete one is the most, okay, let me just write it down as this is what. So customer repository, I just want dot delete by ID. Okay. So great. So we have completed the services, we have completed the bootstrap, we have completed a domain, mappers, model, repository, everything. Now it's time to see the output through the controller. Okay, let's create one package called .controllers. Okay, before that, I think that I haven't added the service annotation over here, so it will throw an error. Oh, might be now I'm going to face the error. Oh, that's why. Yes, that's true. So, okay, so this is a very common thing which you are going to get, so you don't need to worry about it. I haven't added the service annotation, and that's why it is not coming. So simply you have to go to the run as, just clean it, generate resources and install it, and it will be resolved. Okay. It's over here now. Run as the clean. It's time to generate the resources over here, and then everything will be fine. This is over here now. Run as the install. Great job. Everything is fine. Good to go. Once it will enter into the test phase, we got to know that whether we are on the right phase or not. Okay, great. So everything is fine. Everything is working. We are good to go. Let's open the controller package. While it's working, no need to worry about it. So this is the last step. Don't worry, guys. It's almost done. Controller, and I'm going to write the at rest controller. Okay, and it will be gone. No worries. Private final customer service. I need to call this customer service. Okay, Control Shift O, and I just need to constructor for this. Generating constructor. What is the issue? Just Control S, Control Shift O, generate constructor for this field. I got it now. Control Shift O, it will be gone. And this time get mapping and customers. Okay, let's public list of customer DTO. Okay, get all customers this time, and what I'm going to do is customer service dot, what is get all customers. So I have this particular service method. Control Shift O to resolve the errors. Okay, what is the issue? Get all customers. This is showing error. Add return type. Okay. Oh, yes. And this is resolved. Great job. This is resolved. Okay, let me meanwhile open the Postman so that you'll be able to check our APIs quickly. Okay, meanwhile I will be writing the get mapping. Okay, customer slash, I just need the ID slash show. Okay, let me just write public customer DTO, get customer by ID, add path variable, long ID. Okay, return customer service dot get customer ID. Good job. Control Shift O to resolve the errors. Control S. Postman is still opening. I can write the another one. Post mapping and customer slash. I don't need any IDs for it. So public customer DTO, create customer new, at a request body I want. Okay, and what is customer DTO, and over here it is return customer service dot create customer. Okay, so Control Shift O, and over here it is. Let's add the put mapping over here, and slash customer slash ID slash update, and public customer DTO update customer by ID. Okay, add path variable long ID, comma, add request body customer DTO customer DTO. Don't worry, guys, it's almost done. Return customer service dot update customer, and over here it is. Control Shift O, and put is done. Now it's time for the patch mapping. You might be wondering what exactly I'm doing. To do, don't worry, in few minutes I'm going to show it to you that what exactly these all thing, and then it will be completed. Public customer DTO. Let me just quickly copy this thing from here to here. Okay, Control C and Control V. Let me just make it patch. Okay, and then return customer service dot patch customer. Okay, and Control Shift O. And now the last thing, we have the delete mapping. So countdown begin. ID / delete. Okay, public. Let me just see list of customer DTO and delete by ID. Add path variable long ID, and then simply I need to customer service dot delete customer. Okay, and then I just want to return the remaining customer service dot get customers. Okay, Control Shift O, delete mapping. It is done. So yes, we have completed. Just let it finish. Okay, so now it's time to check our VDIs, and let's open a new one for you guys. This is the get request. Write the local host 8080/customers, right? To see all the customers and send it to over here, and you can see the all the customers which are present inside the bootstrap is showing over here. Great job. Let's see the another get request, that is the through the ID. So I'm going to pass the one, and it was show. So let's send it to the, okay, so you can see the path is coming, but it is saying that there is not found, no message available. So let me just check what is the issue over here. So it is customer ID show. Okay, so the battery is down. Let me just quickly open the charger. Okay, yes, so it's plugged in. So it is saying that it is not giving the output because of so many things on all. So customer one ID path variable long ID. Okay, error not found. Customer show. Okay, customer one dot show customer DTO get customer ID. So what we are going to do, simply there is some so what we are trying to reach over here, this method, if it is not working, no issues. Let me just resolve this problem. Yes. Okay. Dot customer. Okay. And over here, I'm going to write customer DTO, customer DTO equal to customer mapper dot. Okay. This way, be having the. Okay, let me just remove this thing from there. Okay, Control S. There we go. Let me just go over there and send. It's interesting. Show, isn't it show present over there? Wrong ID. This matter is customer service. Cus okay, so this is the issue. There is no customer. Oh, I thought that the issue is over here. No issues, both the things will work fine. So now it will work. So yes, it is working fine. It was typo error. I'm so sorry, guys. Let me just see, show it to you. Now it's time for post. So the post, the path is new, and inside the body, we have to pass. Go to the settings. So we have to go to the body and code it like this for this one, Jason. Okay, so I'm going to write it as okay. Okay, great. So what is the first thing? First name. Let me just say Sayyid is fine. And then last name is, what is the issue? Issue. Last name. It will be Shahid Sen. Okay. Let me just, why this is showing there? Huh? Okay, maybe something they are looking for. First name, last name. I don't know. Let me just send it and check. Okay, so Jason Pass cannot construct instance, cannot construct instance of great learning model. Okay. Hmm, JSON form data access included. Oh, let me just write it down as okay, first name. Okay, so it started showing this kind of issue. Why this is showing like this? Man? Okay, oh, I'm so sorry. It's like inside this Control Z. Yes, that is the thing. Hurry, let me write just Sayyid Murtaza. So already done. Sayyid Mehdi. Okay, comma, and then the last name as Shahid. Okay. Let me just add numbers so that you'll be able to see it quickly. So we are passing this particular thing. This time we are passing sending information. Oh, yes. The customer 3 is updated. Now it's time for port. To see what is the port, we have, let me just take the 3 one. Okay. And update. So this is the thing. Let me just add number 92 over here. Let me just say 72 and then send it to this. Oh, great. So we are able to update V3 and you can see the customer URL is 3. And now it's time for patching. Patching is basically providing partial information, but still it will update. So let me just say 110 again, and I'm not updating the last name, but still it will update. Oh, method not allowed. Okay, this one is put. I need to go for the patch and you can see the changes. And the last one is the delete over here, and simply we have to delete this one, and you will be able to see only the list of 2 things, right? And now you can see the 2 products, not the third one. So that's it, guys. You might take days, months, or even years to develop this, but I have developed in minutes. uh, I think an hour I have taken to develop all these things, but don't worry, Anything you need to know, I'm here to help you. My name is Sayyid Murtaza Shahid Hussaini, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.